Hey everybody, welcome back to another WV Guns and Goats video. And tonight I have a brand new pistol to show you. This is brand new on the market for 2024, made by an American company. And you know how they say you never have a second chance to make a good first impression? Well, the packaging here that this pistol comes in has made a really nice first impression on me, especially for the cost of this gun. I have seen some multiple $1,000 guns that don't come in this nice a package with the accessories that you get with this gun. This is the Rost Martin, R-O-S-T, Martin RM1C, a polymer framed, striker fired, 9mm compact carry size handgun, and we're gonna look at it here on WV Guns and Goats. Before we get started though, as always, I'd like to ask you to please like, comment, and headbutt that subscribe button to join the herd here at WV Guns and Goats. Now the herd is getting bigger every day. We are getting a whole lot of new subscribers, and I want to say welcome and thank you to all my subscribers and those who are out there watching my content. Now what we are going to do with this gun today is first we are going to look at it over on the tabletop, see what all comes with this gun. There are a lot of tabletop videos of this gun out there, but not a lot of people shooting this gun on the range right now. I'm going to change that. We are going to put about 150 rounds of ammo through this gun. We're going to test its accuracy, see if it feeds different brands of full metal jacket ammo, and then we're going to test jacketed hollow point ammo in this because this is a concealed carry sized gun. It needs to be able to reliably feed jacketed hollow point ammunition. And then we're also going to shoot it on the timer and see how fast you can shoot this gun. This pistol was provided to us by the kind folks at Rost Martin, so I want to say thank you to them for sending it over to us for this review. However, that does not change the way we do our reviews or any of the stuff that we're going to show you in this review. So we've got the gun and two magazines that you're presented with when you first open it up. And there's other stuff underneath here, and we're going to get into the gun here in a little bit. Let's see what else comes in the box. You've got the manual, and this is a really nice manual. It's got a lot of photos in it and a lot of information, a cutaway view of the pistol, just to give you an idea of how it works. Then we've got all the parts labeled on the pistol there, and they use this really neat green-yellow color to highlight the things you should know. And that's their company color. I'm not sure if they have a specific name for it, but it's nice to see other than just orange or red. So you've got how to field strip the pistol in here, how to actually strip the magazines to clean them. Flipping a little bit further, how to load the pistol, how to lubricate the pistol, where you should put oil at, when you're shooting it, how your sights should look, and even a little bit of diagnostics for your target. So this is really geared towards someone as their first pistol, and this manual really gives you a good idea of the thought that they've put into this gun. How to clean it, how to take it apart, there's some troubleshooting. And in the very back of this manual, this is pretty neat, there is a maintenance record where you can record your round counts, record when you've cleaned it, or how many rounds you fired, like I said, maintenance and remarks, user's name, date, etc. Lots of good information in there. We also have your child safety lock. That's your federally mandated lock. And then we have some back straps. This is so you can tune the grip to better fit your hands. And because this is an optics ready pistol, we have an optics plate. The one that comes with it is for the RMR by Trijicon or any of your other RMR footprint red dots. And if you need a different footprint like an RM1C or a Delta Point Pro by Leupold or a Doctor, well, they also sell plates that fit those red dots on their website. They run about 23 bucks each. So let's go ahead and look at the gun itself, since that's what you really came to see in this review. Now, first off, we will take a look at the magazines here. You get two of them, which is nice. Some companies recently have been giving you one magazine with pistols. It's always nice to see these two. Pistol magazines are compatible with the CZ P10 series. However, the base plates are a little bit different. Rost Martin has said that they will have them available, but we have a 17 round capacity magazine here. That's 15 rounds plus this extended base plate. And on the other magazine, it is 15 rounds with a flush fit base plate. So we'll put them back where they go, and we'll get the pistol out and take a look at it. The gun, of course, is clear, no magazine in there. The first thing we see up top is we've got an optics cut here. As we already talked about the optics plate, this gun is optics ready. Now you see the serration up top on the top of the slide. That's to cut down on glare when you're shooting the pistol outside, so the sunlight isn't bouncing off and hitting you in the eyes. Now we've got a front and rear sight here that I believe are metal. They appear to be metal. The front sight is a white dot and the rear sight is a U-notch. So these are not night sights. However, I believe these are compatible with the Springfield XD series of sights. So they do have an aftermarket option for that as well. Now, if we're looking at this side of the gun, you may have noticed that we have a slide stop / slide release, and we have a magazine release here. This gun has ambidextrous controls. Here they are on the left side of the gun. We've got our slide stop and we've got our mag release. So this is set up for left and right-handed shooters. Up front, we have a Picatinny rail. Now out here at the muzzle, we have a nice target crown. It's a very deep crown. And then we have some front serrations and rear serrations. These are pretty grippy, aggressive serrations and easy to rack the gun. You can get a really nice purchase on them. This section right here has a bit of stippling to it, so you can feel when your finger is off the trigger and laying against the frame. Speaking of stippling, we have stippling on the left and right side here. We also have stippling on the back strap, and then we have stippling on the front strap here as well. At the back of the slide, we have a indicator if the striker is cocked or not, so you can tell if the gun has been racked. You have a little orange dot there, and then when you pull the trigger, as we've already shown you, this gun is unloaded. That indicator disappears, so you know that the gun is not cocked. Speaking of triggers here, we have a trigger safety, and this is a flat trigger as well, which is a really nice upgrade that a lot of guys will pay extra to add that to their handguns. If you're looking right here, this is the takedown lever for the gun. And when I showed this gun to people, they looked at that takedown lever and their brains immediately went to the thought that this is a Glock clone. This gun is only related to a Glock in a couple ways, having a trigger safety, being a 9mm, having a polymer frame, and a striker fired system. Internally, this gun is not related to a Glock. It is not a Glock clone, and it does not take Glock magazines. So I hope that cleared that up a little bit. At the top of the slide here, if you can see that, there's this little hole right behind the chamber. And that is so you can tell if there is a round in the chamber. You can look down into that hole and see the brass from the case. The magazine well has a little bit of a bevel on it to help get those magazines right in there when you're reloading it. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention about the magazine is their followers are that nice green-yellow color that Rost Martin uses, and they are very high visibility, so you can tell when the magazines are unloaded. Just by looking at them, you can tell when the gun's completely empty, because you'll see that nice green-yellow color. So those are all the features of the Rost Martin RM1C. Let's go ahead and get it out on the range and do some shooting with it. First 10 rounds right out of the box through the Rost Martin. We're going to see if it functions without any additional lubrication or cleaning. Now we've got the extended base plate magazine. We have 10 rounds loaded in that. Now, getting used to this gun, It feels, when you're first shooting it, like it has a little bit more recoil than the Glock 19 does, but it's not uncomfortable or super snappy or anything like that. Just like any new handgun, you have to get used to shooting it. Next up, we got the accuracy testing here. This is the target that we have downrange at 10 yards. We're gonna try a variety of full metal jacket ammunition, and then we're gonna move on to the hollow point testing as well. Winchester, target, and practice. Winchester white box stuff really hasn't given us the best track record in its performance, but let's see if the RM1C eats it up. All right, so we were a little bit left on the group here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Max Tech by GH Ammunition. I think this stuff made in Bosnia and Herzegovina. If I pronounce that wrong, just let me know down there in the comments. The group with the Max Tech, we have 2 actually went through this hole here. 3, 4, and 5. Even though it was a little bit left, they were grouped really well there. Next up is Remington Military and Law Enforcement Division Training Ammunition. Still 115 grain. Have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Blazer brass case, 115 grain. We got a really good group with that Blazer ammo, and I think I'm getting a little bit more used to shooting the gun. We've got 3 right here, same hole on the target, and then 4 and 5 right there close together. Got some CCI, Spear, 9mm Luger, 115 grain. This is just marked training ammunition. I actually had to look on the back to see who made it, but this is made by CCI. Let's see if it shoots as good as the Blazer does. Yeah, all right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Winchester forged here. This is probably one of the worst ammo types that you can buy commercially. This is steel cased, and it's been known to choke other guns before. Let's see if the RM1C can handle it. Wow, no problems with the Winchester forged steel case ammo. All right, this is Federal red box, 115 grain. The box is kind of falling apart, so I don't have it with me. Let's try it out here. Let's try that Federal one more time. I had the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out here way off to the left. I worked on a little bit on my grip here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there all together. 150 grain Federal Syntex. All right, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we had adequate accuracy with the multiple different types of full metal jacket ammunition that we tried. We also didn't have any function issues with the different types of ammo, including the Winchester white box. This gun has still not been lubricated or cleaned from when it came out of the box, so it's still chugging along there. We're going to test some hollow point ammunition. This is 124 grain plus P plus Federal HST. Oh, that's a little snappy. Definitely a snappier recoil with the 124 grain plus P ammunition. So we already had some holes in this target, but the HST was, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 right there. These are 147 grain Federal hollow point rounds. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Norma MHP, this is a 108 grain monolithic hollow point bullet. One, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Some ammo ink. This appears to be loaded with a Hornady hollow point. See if it functions. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's try shooting the plate rack some. Ah, missed one. And we're gonna ghost this trigger for y'all. Okay, we snap the trigger, and there's not a lot of over travel to this trigger. You don't feel it move much past the point where it breaks. Now, here's where the trigger reset is very, very audible and tactile. I could hear that. I don't know if you could hear that, but it is a pretty loud reset. And if you see how far my finger is traveling, it's a very, very short reset to this trigger. I mentioned earlier that the RM1C takes CZ P10 magazines. This is a P10 magazine from the Dan Wesson DWX. It's P10 pattern. It goes into the gun, locks in there, and it functions. Here on the timer, see how fast we can shoot some 5-round strings. I get this set up here. .14. 1.27. 1.79. 1.67. Now I'd like to show you how easy it is to take your RM1C down for disassembly, field stripping. As always, make sure the gun is unloaded first. Then you're going to drop the slide. Now we have a takedown lever here and here on either side of the frame there. What we're going to do is we're going to take our hand just like that and grab the slide and the frame together. What we're going to do is we're going to push our thumb forwards, which pushes the slide back a little bit. Then we're going to take and pinch those takedown levers just like this, and we're going to pull them downwards, and we're going to let the slide go forwards, and we're going to push forwards on the slide. And as you see, it just comes right up off of the frame here. The slide separates from the frame. Now to further disassemble the slide, you're going to take and push forwards on your recoil assembly just a little bit so you can take it out of the gun there. And then the barrel goes forwards and lifts up out of your slide, and you have a disassembled for cleaning RM1C. Now to put it back together, we're going to slide our barrel back in until it snaps back into place. And then the green portion, you see how the front of that is green there? That's going to sit in the front of your slide there. And you got to push forwards on your recoil spring assembly till it sits down in its little step on the barrel. Now, if we look here, in front of my fingers are 2 cutouts, and those cutouts interface with this block here in the frame. So when you go to put your slide back on the frame, you want to line up those cutouts. And once they're lined up, the slide will just kind of sit back onto the frame there and rack the gun, and it is back together and assembled after field stripping for cleaning. Thanks for joining me for my review of the Rost Martin RM1C. And what is my verdict on this pistol? Well, I'm going to tell you about it right now. I think so far in the 150 rounds that we've put through this pistol that it's been doing really well. We have had no malfunctions at all with this gun, no matter what ammunition we put through it. We tried multiple different brands of full metal jacket ammo from 115 grains up to 150 grains, whether it was Federal, CCI, Winchester, or Remington, it had no problems. Then we switched over to the jacketed hollow points because in a carry-sized gun, you got to make sure those hollow points are going to function. And I'm proud to say that the Rost Martin functioned with every type of hollow point that we tried through it. We had the MHPs, which were super light 108 grain bullets. We had the 124 grain plus P plus Federal HST, which is super popular for defensive use. Now, I will say, one of my complaints with this gun was the recoil from that 124 grain plus P plus. You could definitely tell that you were shooting something with some force to it out of this gun, because the recoil was snappier and a bit more violent than any of the other loads that we tried. And we also shot the 147 grain Federal hollow points out of this gun as well. No malfunctions with any of the ammunition we tried. And that's surprising, because Rost Martin is a brand new company on the market here. These guns are made down in Dallas, Texas. And for a new company's gun to come out here and function so well, straight out of the box, no extra lubrication or cleaning, I think they did a great job on this pistol. They also did a really good job at making this affordable. This gun has an MSRP of $460, and your street price is going to be lower than that. But at that price, you are getting a whole bunch of features that more expensive guns have. You've got the interchangeable back straps, you've got the flat trigger, you've got a light rail and optics cut with an optics plate system available to fit all of the popular optics out there on the market that you can put on a handgun slide. You're also getting those two magazines, the 15 round and the 17 round, in a really, really nice box. Now, this isn't the only video that we are going to do on the Rost Martin here. We are going to put a light and an optic on this gun, and we're going to do some more shooting with it in a future video. If you'd like to check out everything that Rost Martin offers, like this gun, I forgot to say this frame is also available in different colors. If you'd like to add some color to your gun collection, you've got basic black, gray, and flat dark earth. You can check those out at their website, which is www.rostmartin.com. See all those models, see all the accessories that they have available for this pistol. Now, you can also check us out here on YouTube and on Instagram at WV Guns and Goats. And as always, this has been another WV Guns and Goats video. Remember, if you're not out there having fun shooting, what are you doing?